everyone, and welcome. So this video is going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be a little bit different than a lot of my other videos. What I'm going to show you today is how I go about using up the last little bits of a collection that I have left over. So I've chosen a collection here. This is the Jen Hadfield Warm and Cozy collection, and I start to think that a collection is pretty much almost used up when I only have one 12 by 12 sheet of paper left. So that's what I have from the collection, and I know how I scrapbook. So when I look at this paper, I know that if I add some white cardstock to that collection, I can get 2 cards, an 8.5 by 11 and a 12 by 12 scrapbook page out of that amount of product right there. And I'll still have some leftovers, but I'm going to show you at the end how I go about using those leftovers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a process video creating that 12 by 12 page, and then I'm going to do the cards and the 8.5 by 11 layout off camera, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how I go about redistributing the little bits that are left over. I'm also adding some stamps to my last of this collection leftovers. I like to do this because I think that stamps really allow you to make some different patterns. As you can see there, I know I'm adding leaves and I have the leaf die cuts, but I think I actually end up using the leaves stamps and not the leaf die cuts, but oh well. Okay, so this is the photo we're going to do a 12 by 12 layout with, and this is going to be the process that I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and use some of these little cut aparts from one side, and I'm also going to use that beautiful buffalo print, that buffalo print that's on the other side too. So let's get started with our process video for the scrapbook page, and then I'll come back and talk to you live. So I'm just going to take the branding strip off of this 12 by 12 paper, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim off the cards that I want to use. So I had my eye on that card that says, "This is my happy place," and the one that says, "Good morning, enjoy your day," and so I know I want to use those two cut apart sheets with this photo. If you are interested in coming and hanging out with Christina and I on our Rediscover Your Stash event, you just have to friend one of us on Facebook and we will get you added in there lickety split. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the 6 by 6 pads, and I'm going to pick a couple of patterns primarily because I know that I have a couple things from my stash I want to pull into this layout that are more themey and coordinate with the story I want to tell with this photo. So I'm just going to flip through and pick a couple of neutral patterns because I don't want a lot to compete with that buffalo plaid. The design of this layout, I started taking Chamel's Disney scrapbooking class. It's called A Magical Scrapbook. So I'm not a Disney scrapper. Nope, never. But I've never been to Disney. I love their LuLaRoe, but that's about it. I love to go to Disney plays and things like that too. So I do some kind of Disney-esque things that I can go ahead and scrapbook, but I have been just taking it just because of the inspiration. Her classes are wonderful, and she really inspires me. And so this layout is based on one of the lessons in that class. And she's one of the few, I'm going to say she's probably maybe one of only 2-ish, 3-ish people that I will spend money and take a class from, because her style is quite different than mine, but she really, really just inspires me. Like, I watch hers videos and I'm like, oh, I want to go scrapbook now. So yeah, but we do I admit we don't scrapbook the same, but that's okay. She's lovely. She's absolutely lovely. So I'm going to go ahead and I created this little strip of the buffalo plaid across the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and use this branding strip as well, and I'm going to go ahead and start matting my photo and also those 2 cut apart cards. So everything's going to get some vintage photo distress ink, my very, very favorite distress ink. And I did go ahead and I cut those cards down because I wanted to be able to fit them on a 4x6 mat. So both of these 2 mats that I have here, they're both 4x6. It's just one of them is going to hold my photo and my journaling, and the other one is going to hold these 2 cut apart cards. And I'm just going to place them side by side, just like that, and then continue on with my layout. So I'm going to use that space under my photo to put my journaling. My photo is 4x4, and that mat is 4x6, so I'm just going to use my favorite Muji pen and my T-square ruler, and I'm going to go ahead and use almost all of that space. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog's nails click-clacking on the hardwood floors. I'm going to use all that space underneath the photo to do my journaling on. So now I've gone ahead and I have my journaling in, and I've stamped my date. And now I'm just going to go through these last little bit of die cuts. And what I'm looking for is that green color. I chose the green leaf pattern for the back of my, the mat around my cut apart sheets. And so I want some green in my layers for either side of the two spaces there. And I also really, really want that lovely thermos, because my son, well, the coffee he chose that day was not hot. That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the die cuts, and those are the only 3 that I'm going to use. And the next thing I'm going to start working on is my title. So initially I had an idea for a title, but I didn't have enough thickers to spell out what I wanted to spell out to begin with. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of look at my letter stickers and see what I have enough of to spell. And you know what? Sometimes that can be a little bit, when you're working with like the last little bits of a collection, that can be a little tough. So it requires all of your grammar and maybe Pinterest and maybe Google for a thesaurus. So after a bit of thinking, I decided on the word yummy. And that's just going to be the first part of my title, because I really, really want to add the word Starbucks to my title. And the way I'm going to do that is with those stamps. So remember those stamps I pulled out? They are going to come in handy right here for this very reason. So I'm just putting a little dash right at the bottom of my Y, because I know that I want to go ahead and snuggle my stamping in right underneath the yummy. So I'm going to go ahead and use these gorgeous brush script stamps from Felicity Jane, and I used my T-square ruler to draw just a little bit of a guideline right there underneath where I know the yummy is going to be. And I am just going to finish up my title of Starbucks right there. I initially was thinking that I would pull out my stamp press and do these letters with this stamp press, but this particular stamp set, because of the way it is designed and the way that all of the letters kind of fit into each other, I find that I actually do better when I don't use the stamp press and I use just a really small acrylic block for these particular letters. Now that would not be the case with, I don't think, any other stamps that I own, but for this one it worked well. So I'm just going to add my yummy and then erase my pencil marks. So I'm showing you this part here just because I want to show you this eraser. It's a plastic eraser. That's what it says on it, and I'm not exactly sure where I even got it, to be perfectly honest, but it is the absolute best eraser because it erases pencil without even a mark. It's so cool. So now I want some layers, and I'm going to work on my 3 clusters. I have my journaling and my title together. I'm just going to pop in some of these scraps of paper. These are literally scraps. So these are scraps that were that I had kept with the collection, and I'm going to go ahead and use, they're all from the 6x6 pad. I don't have any more 12x12 scraps left, so, just to give you an idea. So I have a couple as I cut these scraps and create these layers, I want to let you know, I don't remember if I mentioned this in the live section of this video that's after this part, so if I do mention it again, I'm sorry. But I wanted to ask that if you have any comments or thoughts about this type of video, please leave them below. I'd love to know if this is something you guys would like to see more of, or if it's a little too long for you, or what you think. It's because this is more of maybe a little bit of like a mini class as opposed to just, you know, a once and done process video. The other thing I'd like to know is if you do want me to do more of these, what kind of collection leftovers do you have in your stash? What collections do you have maybe just a little bit of, and you're looking for some good ways to get use out of that last little bit of the collection? Because if you have a bit of collection leftovers and I have that same bit of collection leftovers, I'd love to pull them out and have, you know, some people that would like to scrap with me, or some things that I'd like to do. And also, if you're interested in joining us at our Rediscover Your Stash event with Christina and I, you can just go ahead and friend me on Facebook, and I will add you in real quick. So the whole reason, remember at the beginning when I said I had this green, I wanted to use that green pattern and add some of the green from the collection? This is why. Because when I was at the Stamp Away convention earlier this month, I bought these resin pieces that are Starbucks, and one of them looks exactly like my son's drink, and one of them is the little label. And so I wanted to bring in that pattern paper that had all the green, different shades of green leaves to coordinate with those little pieces. I also wanted to let you know, just as an aside, that over this coming weekend, I'm going to be doing in that Rediscover Your Stash event with Christina, I'm going to be doing some Facebook Live. I think I'm going to do it twice. I think the plan right now is twice. So that might be another reason why I might be interested in heading over there. And so, yeah, definitely let me know if this is something you'd like to see more of, these types of videos. So right now I'm looking through my stash, and I'm going to go ahead and pull some green enamel dots. So this green is the exact same color as the Starbucks, and I wanted to make sure that that there was enough of it all around the page that it didn't look out of place. So the only color that ends up really being on this layout is some of the reddish plaid, buffalo plaid, and the green, and that will complete this layout. And now I'll talk to you live. Okay guys, so I decided to go ahead and do the last part of this video live because I wanted it to be kind of like a little bit of like a mini class, maybe, sort of. So here's the layout that you saw me do in the process video, right? And then I went ahead and I created this 8.5 by 11 layout with my kit contents, and this little owl was actually just sitting on my desk. It's from Pretty Little Studio, and they always throw in like little extra die cuts and stuff when I order from them, and then I kind of keep them in a little dish on my desk. Here, I'll show you the little dish. Little dish on my desk with all the cute little Pretty Little Studio extras. And then I pop them onto layouts as they work. So that's up there. And then I went ahead and I used the deer heads from the die cut packs. And I went ahead and created some cards with some of these die cut packs and some fussy cut pieces, okay? So I created my 12 by 12, my 8.5 by 11, and these two cards with my kit leftovers. So this is what I have left from my collection. What am I going to do with these, right? All right, so if you're like me, you are attracted to a certain style of product. You like certain manufacturers, you like certain styles. These are the kinds of products you tend to buy, which means when you're ready to just be done with a collection, you've gone through everything, you've created a couple projects, you have no more 12 by 12 paper. For me, if I don't have any more 12 by 12 pattern paper, that's it. That's, you know, okay, now it's time to like redisperse. So if you buy a lot of the same, we all do it, right? We all are attracted to specific colors, certain styles, certain manufacturers. So what I do is, when I get to a spot like this in a collection, I think, okay, there has to be something in my stash that goes with this. And more than likely, it's something I've recently bought. So for this, when I got to this point, I went through the other collections. I keep all my collections in a wooden paper tower beside me, beside my scrapbook desk. And I just went through. I started at the top, and I went through each of my collections. And this is what I found. I found this brand new collection called Creekside. I haven't touched any of it yet. Right, I just got it. Just got it, right? But look, matches really well. It's a little darker, but that's okay. But it has the same kind of motifs, the same kind of plaids, the same kind of thing. This is more gold, whereas this is a copper. But yeah, so what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab these little pieces from the Warm and Cozy collection. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop them right in to here. And then I have these extra bits. I can mix them. I can match them. Do they match perfectly? No, but they kind of do. Because look, even that polka dot, same similar colors. And that's easy. That's easy to do, to go through your stash and just grab, you know, a collection that coordinates and pop those in there, right? So I did say that the thickers weren't going to work because those are copper, and there is this like matted pretty gold in the Creekside collection. But they're thickers, and I tend to keep thickers. I tend to keep a box of just thickers and alphabets in my closet to pull from when I need them. So I have no problem taking these thickers and just popping them in with the rest of my thickers and alphabet stickers. And there we go. That's how I deal with collection leftovers. And I think that you can do that over and over and over again, because if you tend to buy, or if you tend to be attracted to the same styles of collections, if you tend to buy the same styles of collections, you can do this. It's so, just find something it kind of coordinates with, pop it in there. You can create, and then you can just keep creating, and eventually you'll use up all those products. So don't fret about that. Trust me. I've been doing this system, exactly this, for a very long time, and you always end up using it all. It just might take a little bit longer, and that's okay. It's okay. So I hope you've enjoyed this kind of little mini collection, Rediscover Your Stash kit for our event. If you're interested in joining our spending freeze / rediscover your stash / use up your product fun event, feel free to friend either myself or Christina Sorge on Facebook, and we will get you into our event. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon. Bye!